Hello there, Sir from 17 once again. This is my God Hand hard mode fun run. This is stage 2-3, giant enemy crane, and I'm going to knock this shitter over here, in the famous words of Mr. Big Benedict, which is a word that I've picked up into my lexicon by complete accident by watching his videos. I don't mean to say it, guys, it just comes out. I've been watching too much Bic. But, these enemies are assholes. I don't like them at all. It's one of my least favourite enemies in the game, and it's not because they're not fun to fight, it's because they run away. This dude has a backflip with so many iframes on it, you could literally send him an email about how you don't like his iframes, and he would still be in them by the time he received it. It's ridiculous, dude. I don't know why, and it's one of the things I really don't like about Neo. If you've ever played Neo, the alpha or the beta, can you imagine a Souls game where the enemies, when they back away from you, get iframes? Well, welcome to Neo. Why the fuck can an enemy do a sidestep and a backstep that gives him invincibility? It's so stupid. Like, it's a development team that doesn't understand these games. And I'm sorry, but Neo is not a Souls game, because it's not as good as a Souls game on its fundamentals. It's a fun game, it's got some great mechanics, but fundamentally it's not as sound, it's not as intelligent. And it leads to some stupid moments of you whiff a heavy attack that should kill, you go into negative stamina, you stand there like a tick because you can't move, and then the dude kills you. All because he's got iframes in his backstep. There are not words. But this is God Hand, and the enemies in this game have iframes in their backstep, and it makes sense because this is a game where you do not have a stamina bar. So if he iframes, throw out another jab. You know the best thing about an enemy such as this? When he's at a distance, he's going to do two things. He's going to throw knives at you, or he's going to slide in. When he's running away from you, it's a little bit more dangerous because he can do those defensive, really fast slashes or those axe kicks that will hit you if you updodge. But that is a creature who can be launched using launch moves without needing to counter hit him. So the mule kick that you see me doing when Gene does the handstand, that will launch him to not the maximum height, but enough height to do a Shoryuken and another kick every single time, as long as it doesn't trade. Which makes it so powerful against the scrubbers, the standard crappers, whatever you want to call them. This is the titular crane. It's one of those boss fights that's kind of stupid and weird. Both of these enemies will get launched to the full capacity by using the mule kick. If you time it right, you don't have to counter hit, you just can't get hit. The problem is, did you see what just happened? He backflipped when I hit him. Do you know why he did that? Because it wasn't a counter hit. In God Hand, the enemies have a probability of evading your maneuvers by doing that air recovery that you saw him do. And they did that because it wasn't a counter hit. And the way you get around it is in the previous sentence. Counter hit. It's the answer to everything. The enemies in this game have a percentage that they will dodge your attacks. There's a percentage that they will get hit by your attacks, and it changes, it fluctuates. There's nothing you can do to understand when you will hit. The only guaranteed time you will hit somebody is after a guard break, and if they are dizzy. They are the two states where you can guarantee that you will come into contact with their bodies. And learning this can take a while because it's not necessarily makes the most sense. When you do something like bounding, when you hit an enemy against a wall and you proceed to do something like high side kick cancelling, you'll notice that at a certain point the enemy starts trying to backflip out of the move because they've been programmed to have a recovery so that you can't do that for them for too long. When you piss an enemy off on this game, they get all flush in the face. This increases their damage, and it also, I'm not too sure if it makes them faster, but it makes them get out of things quicker. So if you get somebody into some Shoryukens, it's random whether or not you can land 1 or 3 Shoryukens against an enemy who's normal, but you can sometimes do it. Occasionally they'll flip out of it. If he's pissed off, he will flip out of it way faster. It's very similar to somebody like Azel. Because Azel is a special enemy because he's a boss, keeping him in moves is 100% his choice. If he wants to be there, he'll stay there. If he doesn't, he'll get out. And there's nothing you can do unless he's stunned or guard broken, and even then, he will not want to stay in there. And if he gets red-faced, he's going to get out even quicker. And these are the things that you're going to have to learn over time to understand what the enemy will do. There are counters to these mechanics as well. Just then, guys, I got hit by that little scrubber. He jumped on my face and he did a grab that does damage before you can get him off. I've never seen it before. I had to let myself die so that I could go back from that checkpoint because I didn't want to do the enemy crane again, because fuck that crane, it's stupid. And then on the next section, I used a save state. The checkpoint is when that door opens. You then run forward, you punch a door, you get through the door, and you fight an elite that I've never really fought too much, so I don't know his patterns. I got so pissed off at getting hit by this douche and his stabby arms, his Baraka arm claws, that I save stated after the door was open. Because in my eyes, it's not in any way giving me an advantage, it just means I don't have to keep punching that stupid door, which takes far too long, and it's a mechanic that's designed to teach you how to dodge, it teaches you how to cancel moves, it also teaches you what tedium is, because it's boring. So I'm going to run around now picking up everything that I can, getting some money, getting some food, and then we're going to get to the door. And as I've mentioned, guys, I save stated before the next enemy because technically there's nothing between him that's a challenge that means that I would be getting some kind of unfair advantage. It's just saved me some tedium and it enabled me to fight this creature, which... This is a unique, skinny elite. He's one of the knife-handed dudes, but he's the elite level of him, and you only fight a few of these in the game. You fight one after Tiger Joe level, and you fight one in the Whippet level, and then you fight one here, and I think that's it. So you only fight him like 3 times. There might be others, and he probably turns up in some challenges, but it's an enemy that you don't get a chance to practice. So he's not that tricky, but he's got a lot of life, and he's fast. You see that DP that he did just then? He can oftentimes follow it up with a second DP, which you can counter hit, which is what I tried to do just then. Additionally, these skinny enemies have a very strange property. Whenever you do the Cobra Twist, if you follow it up with a charge attack, they will let you do it. I don't know why. It's just something that happens. That right there was an example of an enemy getting out of a Shoryuken because he wanted to, because he was pissed off. It's just how the game works, guys. There's his basic combo. Here's another Cobra Twist coming up. I don't really have too many moves to do anything too ridiculous, so I'm just kind of doing the standard stuff here, guys. But when we do get better moves, it will get a bit more exciting. We will start to do hopefully some fancy launches, some fancy juggles, and we'll have some fun. I think I'm going to hit the door and get to the end of the mission. Yeah, I am. Thank you for watching. You take care now.